What's up guys, it's Corey and we're back with another video, this time in Minecraft, on the PS3, and you might be asking why on the PS3. I own it on PS4, and I also own it on PC. I could easily play either of those versions, but there's a very specific reason that I have created this brand new world, which I just happened to spawn by a village in, so that is incredibly lucky. The reason I'm doing this on PS3 is that there are 2 trophies in this game that I have yet to get, and I want to get them, and then I may end up doing it again on PS4, because I already own that version like I just said, so I figured why not just document it, because the 2 trophies that I need are going to take a while, probably, and those 2 trophies are finding the end portal and going to the end, and killing the Ender Dragon. I've never done either of these things in any version of Minecraft, at least not legitimately. I have just gone into creative on PC, spawned a bunch of Ender Eyes and found it, and then punched a dragon to death. Not too hard. But I've never done it in survival, and I want to. And I figure, why not do it to get the trophy? And then I may end up doing it again to get the trophy, because I have very few of the trophies on PS4. I just haven't spent nearly as much time playing it. I will eventually get to it, among many other things. There are so many games to play. But yeah, that's my reasoning for doing it on this specific platform. Hopefully, I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm just kind of going at it. Like, I know how to do it. I don't know if there's any, I'm sure there are, but I don't know of any, like, super fast ways to do this, which is why I decided to record it, because I figured I could make a couple of episodes out of it. I don't know how many, but I also just kind of wanted to chill out, and, like, this was a game that was very different from anything that I've really extensively played on the channel before. I mean, I've played Diablo and Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and a little bit of Persona 3, which I intend to get back to at some point in the near future, but yeah, this is a very different game. It's a game that I have spent a lot of time with. Like I said, I have all but those 2 trophies on the PS3 version, and that's not the primary version I played. I spent most of my time on PC. A lot of the time playing with mods and playing with friends on, like, my friend had a PC in his, like, an extra PC in his basement, and he just used that as a server, and we were playing the Tekkit mod pack, which was fantastic. I don't even know if that mod pack is still around. I'm sure you could find it somewhere, still hosted on some weird website somewhere. I mean, maybe the official Tekkit website is even still up. I don't even know. I know that the new hotness right now is Feed the Beast. Maybe it's not new anymore. It was a year ago or more, maybe. Everyone was into it because it was less broken, which I could see. I mean, obviously, Tekkit was broken as hell, but that's kind of what made it awesome, is that it was broken as hell. So after a while, you had infinite resources, infinite energy, infinite matter, infinite whatever. You could turn sunlight into anything you wanted to. If you decided to go that route. And if you didn't, I don't know why you were playing. So yeah, I really enjoyed that mod pack a lot. Obviously now, since I'm playing on console, that is not a thing I will be doing. I am just playing vanilla Minecraft. So yeah, like, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be talking about, because a lot of this is just standard shit. I mean, you could watch anyone else play this game, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, maybe you should. Most of you that know, most of, like, anyone that takes a look at my channel would know that I don't have a ton of experience doing this yet. I started sometime last year. I have put out quite a few videos at this point, but I still have a long way to go before I feel like I consider myself good at this. I do feel like I've improved a fair bit, but that's that's not enough. Not yet, anyways. I wonder, can I trade with these guys? I've never really traded with a villager. Can I do this? Emeralds for... Okay. Required items for trade. He wants 9 iron ingots for an emerald. That's probably... I don't know, that might be a good deal. I think emeralds are really rare. He wants an emerald for 7 steaks? That's really bad. 10 gravel and an emerald for 4 flint? What? Okay, 17 white wool for an emerald. Okay, so some of these are good and some of these are just hot trash. That's fine. Just so long as I know what I'm working with. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Minecraft that I've never done. At least not, like, in more recent versions of vanilla, I haven't really played in a long time. On PS3, I played right around the time when it came out for a month or two, and that's when I got basically all of my trophies. And after that, I sort of dabbled in a little bit here and there, and like had a good time with it, as I do with Minecraft on PC as well and PS4, and I even own it on Vita. Although that, I don't know, that might have come free with the PS4 version. I forget. I don't know if I had to buy that separately. Let's just say I hope not. Yeah, this is a really weird game, because it's not the type of game I normally enjoy a ton. There are some things that I like. I like Civilization, and games like it a fair bit. Just because I enjoy, like, even though those are fairly open, there's still a pretty defined structure. There's a goal. There are well-defined rules, although sometimes they're not exactly balanced or whatever. But like, the rules are there. But this is not that. Like this, you're not trying to conquer the world. You're not trying to, like, there is no end goal in Minecraft. Unlike in Civilization or Endless Legend or something along those lines. Those have clearly defined goals, even if they are fairly open about how you approach them. This is not that. This is just like, I'm gonna go around and collect all this wheat, and then I'm gonna dig a hole, and then that's kind of it. Like, it's a super weird game. But like, when I first bought this game on PC back in 2010, I believe, it was an alpha at the time. Like, multiplayer was garbage. It did, like, you couldn't take damage or do damage. It was pretty hot trash multiplayer. Single player, still really cool. It had enough of what you see in current Minecraft to make it enjoyable. Sun is going down. I would like to find a cave someplace. My first goal is obviously going to be digging a cave, sort of turning it into like a little hobbit hole, which we're just going to dig into this wall here because I don't have a ton of time. Let's dig this out over here, and then we'll make some sticks and a stone pick. Oh, and a door. Let's put that there. So I haven't found any coal yet, so it's gonna get a little bit dark here for a minute or so, which is unfortunate. But I'm going to take some of the wood that I got, since I gathered quite a lot, and I'm gonna turn it into charcoal. Is that enough stone? It is. And we'll put this here. Put this in the top. And let's place one or two. We'll do two. And yeah, we'll use this to make some charcoal, and we'll make a couple of torches, and then we'll start digging down. I didn't realize they had changed the texture for charcoal. That's weird. Alright, so we have 3 charcoal. Good deal. Where the hell? There we go. We're gonna rearrange this bar just a little bit. Alright, now we're good to go. So yeah, my first goal is gonna be getting iron. Now that I've got a little bit of light and I've got a room to keep me safe from zombies and things. Well, it did keep me safe from zombies and things. Wait, why did I just do that? I needed to go up one more. There we go. So yeah, we're going to expand this room just a little bit. I'm going to need a little bit more room for chests and a bed and things. And then we're going to go and start collecting iron. Because the big thing we're going to need is we're going to need armor and a sword and a bow if I can get it. I mean, I'm going to have a bow in order to take on the dragon. But that also shouldn't really be all that difficult. I wonder... I'm kind of wondering where I want to start digging. We're going to move this wall over 1 block. Oops. We're going to move this wall over 1 block, and then I'm going to just start digging down. Oh, fuck. Let's see what's in here. Come on. Okay. So, we've got a little cave here. Nothing too fancy. But, this is going to pose a slight problem. I'm going to try to get rid of this water. And we'll be doing that from the bottom up, because that just, I think makes the most sense. I don't have enough building materials yet to actually, like, I've got wood, I guess. We can make something happen. I gotta collect the wood though after I'm done, which is unfortunate. Oh, fuck. Oh. Torch. Come on. Like stuck on the edge of the block. Okay. We're gonna have to collect more blocks. The easiest way to get rid of this water is just going to be to fill it in with another material. That's what I was trying to do with the dirt and wood. Clearly I've run out of things, so back to collecting. This is a really weird game. I know I've mentioned that. Like, it's just, I don't know. In a lot of ways, I don't really understand its appeal. People will play this and nothing but this, and like, I enjoy my time with it quite a lot. But I don't understand the person that plays one game and one game only. The closest I ever got to that was when I was playing World of Warcraft, and I did that for about 8 years. So, I mean, yeah, I did have that phase where I was playing the one game and almost exclusively only that game. There were very few exceptions, and 95% of my time in video games was spent in World of Warcraft during that time, or during a large portion of that time. Eventually, I did start to move on. It was somewhat slow, but it did happen. But there are people that they'll play Minecraft and nothing else, or they'll play League of Legends and nothing else. Although that one I can kind of understand a little bit more, but only a little, honestly. Like, when I was playing World of Warcraft, I was doing a lot of PvP, playing as an enhancement shaman, which sometimes was really good, and sometimes was hot trash. Because I've played enhancement shaman primarily since BC, when enhancement shamans first gained the ability to dual wield. All right. Oh no, wait. We've got plenty of sticks. Actually, I should make a stone shovel or two. So yeah, I played Enhancement Shaman sometimes when it was really good, and sometimes it was really bad, and it didn't really matter because I enjoyed playing it anyways. I played Enhancement Shaman not because it was the flavor of the month, but it was because it was the class that I enjoyed playing the most. In vanilla, I was a human paladin. On the Sentinels server, which is an RP server, which is kind of weird for me because I have literally no interest in RP. Unfortunately, some of my friends do, and they were on that server. And I wanted to play with them, so I ended up rolling a character on an RP server, which didn't really end up to be that big of a problem, so, I mean, it was fine. Not ideal, but fine. And yeah, like, I played that paladin, and didn't really feel like I was missing anything. And then when BC came around and shamans got dual wielding, I was immediately interested, but didn't really want to switch immediately. Like, I had put a ton of time into leveling up the paladin, most of the time doing it in a less than optimal fashion. It was just how I enjoyed playing the game, and I didn't know what I was doing also a lot of the time, so I was doing it. Basically, I was leveling in the same way that you might level in a single-player RPG, by farming monsters. I didn't want to deal with reading quests or anything like that, or like wandering around new zones to find new quests to do. So I just found an area that gave me good experience points, had a lot of monsters that were close by, and they respawned quickly. And it was an area that wasn't super busy with other players. And I used that, those mobs, and I just farmed them for weeks. I mean, it was like that South Park episode on World of Warcraft, where they just spent all their time farming boars in the forest, except mine was farming undead in Western Plague Lands. There was a flight path from the southern edge of the map of the zone, and there was a little graveyard full of a bunch of undead. I believe it was by some tomb for Uther or something. I'm not super familiar on World of Warcraft lore, or I guess it's Warcraft lore. So you'll have to bear with me on that. I played the game for a long time. Don't give a shit about the lore. It's just not what I wanted out of that. It's not what I want out of that game. So yeah, lore, not my thing. But killing those undead for several weeks on end was my thing. And I was leveling incredibly quickly because I was just doing it as often as possible, putting in as much time as I can, just mindlessly farming in this graveyard. And I don't know why I decided to level that way. It was just what I was used to from single-player RPGs. Like, you would go to a fairly high-level zone in, say, a Final Fantasy game, and you would just kill monsters over and over and over again, and you would get money, and you would get experience, and you would get items, and that's what I did, because that's what I knew. And it was probably the worst way to level up. Probably. There's a lot of people that really like the Warcraft lore, and it's just something that I didn't care about at the time, and then eventually, like, I had put in so much time and so many expansions had come out that I'm like, I'm not going to get into this because I just don't have the time. If I was going to get into it, I would want to play all 3 Warcraft games as well as Frozen Throne. I don't know if there was an expansion for Warcraft 2, but there may have been. So I would want to play those. I would want to play like through all of the expansions again and do like basically all of their content to get this lore, get this story. There are tons of books I would want to read, and it's this huge time commitment that I don't have time for. And quite frankly, it's not a world where the story interested me a ton. There are plenty of worlds and games and stories that I do get invested in, and I get invested quickly. Things like Persona, I became very invested in. I was really late to the Persona game. I played Persona 3 after Persona 4 was already out, knowing that Persona 4 was a better game, so I wanted to make sure that I played through them in a way that made it so that I would be upgrading from Persona 3 to Persona 4, not foreseeing that I would enjoy the story of Persona 3 more, obviously, because no one, or not nearly as many people talk about it. But, yeah, like, there are worlds and stories that I get interested in. Warcraft was just never one of them. But like the latest one, which is something that I am almost obsessed with at this point, is Fate Stay Night, which is maybe a little weird, because Fate Stay Night is a visual novel that came out in 2004, and it never came out officially in the US. There are fan translations and things like that, and there are a couple of anime. And the way these different anime work is the visual novel itself is broken up into 3 story arcs. and each of these story arcs is tied to one of three girls, and you are basically, I think it works like relatively early in the game. You are picking one of these girls, and then you are following their story arc from that point on until the end of the game. And like this might sound a little weird, because this game is an eroge, and what that means is that it is somewhat erotic in nature, at least at one point. It's by far not the focus of the game, but it's in there. At some point, at least in at least one of those story arcs, I believe you are literally fucking one of these girls. Which is not the thing that I'm interested in, because the character, the reason I got into this is because of Ufotable's new anime series that just finished up in June or July, and is fantastic. One of my favorite anime in a very long time. I know some people weren't super into it, or weren't into it as much as I was. A lot of people thought that the ending was weak, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. I think the ending could have been better. There could have been more. But I have also watched Fate Zero just randomly a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago. I just randomly watched Fate Zero and loved it, and didn't expect any more. And then Fate Stay Night by the same studio came out, and I didn't watch it immediately. I was busy with other things. But me and my roommates watched the entire thing last week, and that show is incredible. Since then, I have bought the Fate Extra Collector's Edition PSP game, which I guess is translated by Axis, the same like group of people, studio or localization department that localized 999, which I thought was fantastic. I am totally cool with them doing more of that. And the story in that game was fantastic. So if they can bring some of that localization talent to Fate Stay Night, I am totally in. So I bought it. It was $30 on Amazon. It was ridiculously good deal. I don't own a PSP. That's the problem. I'm going to have to buy one. Or I could emulate it, but I don't want to. I'm just going to buy a PSP and I'll play it. It's fine. And then I bought the Fate Stay Night visual novel, which is going to be here in like 3 weeks, so I had to import it from Japan because that thing is weird as fuck. But yeah, like that story is just super interesting, and I don't know what it came out here for. I chopped down that one tree. I guess I do need some more wood. We can do that. So yeah, like that world has just gotten me obsessed over the past week or two, and like I can't get enough of it. I am going to play that visual novel. There is a fan translation patch out there for it. Since I do not speak Japanese, I can read some, but I do not know very many kanji, so a game that is so clearly designed for adults is going to be very kanji heavy. So I don't have a chance of, I have very little chance of actually reading that and understanding it. I can read kana, which I did for like Monster Hunter Portable Third, and that's easy stuff. That's fine. It's just like a phonetic alphabet. You're just learning new letters. That's it. And there's quite a few of them, but it's not awful. Shit, it's almost night again. Guess I should probably end this. We're at about half an hour. So yeah, like, I don't know. Warcraft just never got me. I completely forgot why I got into this conversation. I guess it doesn't really matter. But what I'm actually telling you guys is just go watch Fate Stay Night. There is a number of places you can watch it. I believe it might be on Netflix, it might be on Hulu, it's definitely on Crunchyroll. So do one of those. I don't know which it's on exactly, I have forgotten, but I know it's on either Netflix or Hulu, so if you've got those, watch that show. It is gorgeous, and the animation of the combat is just phenomenal. It is so good. And then like just the story and the characters are interesting and funny. It's a fantastic world and setting. Even if there is some boning in the visual novel, I'm not going to hold that against it because of how much other stuff it is doing so right. So I'm going to stop rambling, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this fucking rambling mess I just threw at you. If you liked it, let me know. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. I will be continuing this at least until I get that that platinum trophy, which I didn't make much progress on today. But let's hope that changes next time. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.